hunking. A vulture. Vulture said to Frog, I'm going to eat you for my dinner. And he did. Then he flapped on his way, and he met a gorilla. Gorilla said, I'm going to eat you for dinner. And he did. Gorilla plodded away through the jungle until he met a tiger. Tiger said, I'm going to eat you for my dinner. And he did. Tiger bounded into the river to wash his whiskers, and there was a crocodile. This one's broken a bit. The crocodile said, I'm going to eat you for my dinner, and he did. The crocodile wiped his eyes and floated lazily out to sea, and there he met a shark. And shark gobbled him up without saying anything at all. The end.
I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud by William Wordsworth. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over valleys and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills, and dances with the daffodils. Thank you.
Small talk. There's a saucer on the roof, said the cat. I must tell. Isn't that precious? The crossbill says a flying saucer's on the roof with the blue monster in it. I must tell. The bulldog says, a blue monster's on the roof with sharp fangs. I must tell. The duck says, a blue monster's on the roof with sharp fangs and 5 webbed feet. I must tell. The hippo says, a blue monster with sharp fangs and 5 webbed feet is going to eat us. I must tell. Somebody. Hello, everybody, said the little green Martian. It's really cute.
This is The Laughing Heart by Charles Bukowski. Your life is your life. Don't let it be clubbed into dank submission. Be on the watch. There are ways out. There is a light somewhere. It may not be much light, but it beats the darkness. Be on the watch. The gods will offer you chances. Know them. Take them. You can't beat death, but you can beat death in life sometimes. And the more often you learn to do it, the more light there will be. Your life is your life. Know it while you have it. You are marvelous. The gods wait to delight in you.
Oh my, a fly. Gonna start at the beginning. Oh my goodness. There was an old woman who swallowed a fly. I wonder why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. There was an old woman who swallowed a spider that wriggled and giggled and squiggled inside her. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I wonder why she swallowed that fly. Perhaps she'll die. There was an old woman who swallowed a bat. Fancy that. She swallowed a bat. She swallowed the bat to catch the spider that wriggled and giggled and squiggled inside her. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I wonder why she swallowed that fly. Perhaps she'll die. There was an old woman who swallowed a bird. How absurd to swallow a bird. She swallowed the bird to catch the bat. She swallowed the bat to catch the spider that wriggled and giggled and squiggled inside her. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I wonder why she swallowed that fly. Perhaps she'll die. There was an old woman who swallowed a cow. I wonder how she swallowed that cow. She swallowed the cow to catch the bird. She swallowed the bird to catch the bat. She swallowed the bat to catch the spider that wriggled and giggled and swiggled inside her. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I wonder why she swallowed that fly. Perhaps she'll die. There was an old woman who swallowed a horse. Well, she's dead, of course. Isn't that just the cutest book?
Namaste. It's Yoloma. Today I'm going to read you the beginning of my favorite book. Pride and Prejudice by the one and only Jane Austen. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. However, little know the feelings or views of such a man may be on his first entering a neighborhood. This truth is so well fixed in the mind of the surrounding families that he is considered as the rightful property of someone or other of their daughters. "My dear Mr. Bennet," said this lady to him one day, "have you heard that Netherfield Park is let at last?" Mr. Bennet replied that he had not. "But it is," returned she, "for Mrs. Long has just been here, and she told me all about it." Mr. Bennet made no answer. "Do not you want to know who has taken it?" cried his wife impatiently. "You want to tell me, and I have no objection to hearing it." This was invitation enough. Why, my dear, you must know, Mrs. Long says that Netherfield is taken by a young man of large fortune from the north of England, that he came down on Monday in a chaise and four to see the place, and was so much delighted with it that he agreed Mr. Morris immediately that he is to take possession before Michaelmas, and some of his servants are to be in the house by the end of next week. What's his name? Bingley. Is he married or single? Oh, single, my dear, to be sure. A single man of large fortune, 4 or 5 thousands a year. What fine thing for our girls. Oh, so, how can it affect them? My dear Mr. Bennet, replied his wife, how can you be so tiresome? You must know that I am thinking of his marrying one of them.
Little monsters. This little monster plays with his food. Look at all those worms in his mouth. This little monster is rather rude. Sticking his tongue out at everybody, I guess. This little monster wants a fight. Oh, it looks he's got the pow. This little monster is up all night. Look at the eye blinking. That is really cute. How many monsters are in this book? Give us a kiss and have a look. 1 Corinthians 13, and it is known as the love chapter. Reading it in the Message version, 1 Corinthians 13 says, "No matter what I say, what I believe, and what I do, I'm bankrupt without love. Love never gives up. Love cares more for others than for self. Love doesn't want what it doesn't have. Love doesn't strut, doesn't have a swelled head, doesn't force itself on others, isn't always me first, doesn't fly off the handle, doesn't keep score of the sins of others, doesn't revel when others grovel, takes pleasure in the flowering of truth, puts up with anything, trust God always, always look for the best, never looks back, and keeps going to the end. Love never dies. Love never fails." So, my dear ones out there today, love one another. This is Hawaii Talk Story After Dark. ASMR. Aloha.
The Fan Man by William Tingle. I'm all alone in my pad, man. My piled up to the ceiling with junk pad. With piles of garbage bags bursting with rubbish and encrusted frying pans piled on the floor, embedded with unnameable flecks of petrified wretchedness and grease. My pad, man. My own little Lower East Side Horspidorities pad. I just woke up, man. Horspidorities just woke up and is crawling around in the sea of abominated filthiness, man, which he calls home. Walking through the rooms of my pad, man, through broken glass and piles of filthy clothes from which I shall select my wardrobe for the day. Here, stuffed in a trash basket, is a pair of incredibly wrinkled up muck pants. And here, man, beneath a pile of wet newspapers, is a shirt, man, with one sleeve. All I need now is a tie, and here's a perfectly good rubber Japanese toy snake, man, which I can easily form into an acceptable knot, looking like a gnarled ball of spaghetti. Spaghetti! Man, now I remember. That is why I've arisen from my cesspool pit. Because the growlings of my stomach. It is time for breakfast, man. But first, I must make a telephone call to Alaska. Looking around for telephone, fighting my way through piles of sheet music, man. Piled up to the ceiling. And here is an electric extension cord, man, which will serve perfectly as a belt to hold up my falling down Horspidorities pants. Looking through the shambles, wreckage, busted chair, old sardine can with a roach in it, empty pina colada bottle, sweet sticky gummy something written on the wall, broken egg on the floor, some kind of coffee grounds sprinkled around. What's this under here, man? It's the sink, man. I found the sink. I'd recognize it anywhere. Wait a second, man. It is not the sink, but my Horspidorities' big stuffed easy chair piled with dirty dishes. I must sit down here and rest, man. I am so tired from getting out of bed. Throw dishes onto the floor. Crash, break, shatter. Sink down in the damp cushions. Some kind of fungus on the armrest. Possibility of smoke in it. I'm in my little Horspidorities pad, man, looking around. It's the nicest pad I ever had, man, and I'm getting another one like it down the hall. 2 pads, man. The rent will be high, but it's not so bad if you don't pay it. And with 2 pads, man, I will have room to rehearse the love chorus, man, and we will sing our holy music and record it on my battery-powered, portable, falling-apart Japanese tape recorder with the corroded, worn-out batteries, man. And when we play it back and listen to it, we will not be able to hear it. How wonderful, man. Sitting in chairs, staring at wall, where paint is peeling off, and jelly is written, and hundreds of numbers of telephone numbers are written, I must make a telephone call to Alaska. I must make a telephone call immediately, man. That is a must.